want the result, but you can't stay the course. You start the workout, then skip the next 3 days. You begin the business plan, but never finish the first draft. And somewhere inside, you whisper, I'm just not consistent enough. We convince ourselves that consistency will come later, after motivation strikes, after life gets easier, after the perfect moment. But here's the paradox. Consistency doesn't wait for the right time. It creates it. And the truth is, the longer you avoid building it, the harder life becomes. So let me take you to a place where a man tried to cross a bridge that didn't even exist. And it all starts right now.
In a small riverside village, a steep cliff cut the land into two halves. On the far side was the only marketplace. On Ishan's side, a scattering of homes, quiet fields, and the constant frustration of watching opportunity from a distance. To reach the market, villagers either risked climbing slippery rocks by the cliff or simply stayed home. Most chose the second option. Ishan was young, restless, and hated the idea of being trapped. One evening, an old carpenter in faded overalls approached him with a strange challenge. Come here every morning, the man said, and place one wooden plank across the gorge, just one, then go home. Ishan laughed. The gap between the cliffs was hundreds of feet wide. That would take years. The carpenter's eyes didn't flinch. And?
We all know someone like that, don't we? The one who sees the distance, but never the step. Maybe that someone is you.
The first day, Ishan carried a heavy plank on his shoulder, sweating under the sun. He placed it at the edge, connecting nothing, just wood over empty air. The second day, another plank, still useless. Days turned into weeks. The villagers smirked when they saw him. Building a bridge to nowhere, they said. Ishan told himself he didn't care. But some nights, he stared at the unfinished line of wood and wondered if they were right.
The first crack in a man's resolve doesn't sound like a scream. It whispers, what's the point?
One night, a storm rolled in. The wind roared through the gorge, tearing half the planks loose and hurling them into the river below. The next morning, Ishan stood at the edge. Weeks of work, gone. For a long time, he didn't move. Then, slowly, he picked up another plank. By the third month, his shoulders ached, his hands blistered. He thought about quitting, but every time he saw the carpenter watching from a distance, he felt something pull him forward.
Stop for a second. Picture a man building a road into fog. Every step he takes disappears behind him. Would you keep walking? Because most people wouldn't.
Almost a year had passed. The bridge stretched farther now, maybe 3/4 across. One evening, the carpenter walked over. Tomorrow, he said, you'll reach the other side. But the next morning, Ishan didn't carry the last plank. He left the final gap open, wide enough that no one could cross. And then, something unexpected happened. By noon, villagers began showing up, carrying planks of their own. Men, women, even children. They worked together, finishing the last section in hours. When Ishan stepped onto the bridge that evening, he realized it wasn't just wood that had been built. It was belief.
Maybe you felt this too. That somewhere, deep down, the thing you're building isn't the thing at all. It's you.
From then on, the bridge connected the two halves of the village. Children could go to school. Farmers could sell their crops. No one remembered the days it seemed impossible, except Ishan. Every time he crossed, he would pause in the middle and look down at the river far below, not to see how far he'd come, but to remember the days when nothing was there.
The lesson life teaches is that the first steps are always the most fragile. The work feels invisible, the reward feels far, and the voice in your head will try to convince you to stop. But here's the truth. The path doesn't appear before you walk it. It appears because you do. Consistency isn't the bridge to your goal. It's the reason the bridge exists at all. But what happens when the bridge you've built isn't to somewhere safe, but somewhere unknown? If that moved something inside you, watch. Change your mindset. Click to watch. It's waiting for you.